Hi, it's Teresa with Crafty with Theresa. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is all about creating from a sketch. Today I'm sharing a one-page layout with 2 photos. One layout is cost-effective with the designer series paper and stickers and a few bling bling items. And then the other layout that I'll show you today is a Craft My Stash twist. Plus, I have a card and tag design that have been made from different sketches. So let me know which version inspires you the most. And enough of my chatting. Let's get to crafting. Let's quickly take a look at this paper. Oh my, it's warm, it's classic, it's elegant, it's simple. Just really gives you that classic holiday feel. It has the reds, the greens, and the touch of gold, and it's perfect for what I need here today for my layouts. It's full of traditional Christmas florals. It also has the beautiful, more softer tones so that you can use those as well. And you will see that in the layout that I'm showing you here today, we will use both sides of this paper. So this first sketch is the scrapbook layout. These sketches do not have measurements, so I made up my own, and I'll walk through those with you. The first 2 items that I'm going to be putting into my layout are 2 pieces of this Traditions of Christmas designer paper, and both of them will be 2.5 by 12. They'll have a large sentiment based on the sketch. They'll have 2 photos, and then we'll have some circular items, and then we'll add in the journaling. In this case, the journaling is going to be very simple. It will just be the date, because I hope to build a companion page that goes along with it, showing the kids opening their Christmas presents and things like that. For this first layout, I used designer series paper and the cute stickers. I stayed close to the sketch, but I added some soft layers and some gold. Now we're actually going to start with the Craft My Stash version. We'll showcase the designer series paper version a little bit later. We'll talk about it as we go because there are some slight variations and there are some benefits along the way. But back to the Craft My Staff version, I wanted to show you a little tip. This version came to me as I looked at that beautiful gold in the designer series paper. So after I created the first version, I had to make this other one. So oh how elegant that gold looks on this version, and I thought it was a great way to showcase my 2 handsome grandsons as they're sitting around in their jammies and Mommy is taking the beautiful photos for me. I'm so incredibly blessed to have family members that jump in there and support me in my love of scrapbooking. So the tip that I wanted to share is this. Have you ever had a situation where you have trouble getting the backing off of shimmer trims? Well, I have, and I have this beautiful trim, and if you have some, or if you were close to my heart maker, you probably have some of this gold shimmer trim in your stash. I've used this over and over again, but when I was teaching classes at the nursing home, one of the challenges that they had was trying to get the backing off the shimmer trim. So after some experimenting, I found that if you take your heron tape and you put it on the back side of the shimmer trim, you can press it down, it'll grab that backing, and it will take that backing off easily. Yes, it's a little wasteful, and if you know me, I'm not a wasteful person, but it is so worth it when you need that assistance getting that backing off. I hope this helps some of you. So now we'll cut the 2 pieces to fit at the bottom. We'll take the shimmer trim and we'll add one below the top floral design paper and one on the top of the blue paper. My thought here is by adding that, it helps ground it. And I felt like this area needed it. I love how it looks in this design. Now, once we get the trim on, we can easily flip this over and cut off any overlapping edges. I tend to do this so that I don't cut myself short on the ends. That trim is pretty sticky, so I grabbed some long bladed scissors. They're titanium, so they do not stick to the blades when cutting through sticky items such as tape. So I grabbed those long bladed scissors and I trimmed off the extra pieces of trim. This is such an easy layout, so we'll just grab a few more items and we're almost done. We'll grab the stickers from our sticker sheet. Most of them I had already removed the sticky from the back so that I could play around with my arrangement and my design. Most will lay flat, except I did step up the larger sentiment. I grabbed some of my open weave trim and made what I call a makeshift bow look to add behind the sentiment. I added it and then grabbed some dimensionals and added those to the back as well. Now here comes my fun part. I get to start adding the photos. I was so excited to have my photos ready for this layout because sometimes I just don't get them in time for these layouts. So I'll grab the Oh What Fun blue oval piece and that'll bring in my circle component. I'll grab one of the poinsettias and add that below it. I will leave a little room to move those photos around. I'll take off the dimensional pieces from our large sentiment and add the rest of the stickers. And as I mentioned earlier, I will not have journaling. I will have the date, which you see down there on the bottom right next to the Merry and Bright. And then on the companion page, I will add all of the photos, which we take a ton when we're opening our Christmas presents. I'll add all of those in and do a probably 6 to 9 photo companion page. Now we can't forget about the bling bling. We'll add that and there you go. Isn't this the cutest layout? I may be a little partial because I adore these two guys. And of course, the younger one, we have all decided that he should be in a baby food commercial. What do you think? Now here's a look at the two designs. They're almost exactly the same, but one was designed with using up my stash in mind, and the other was using the designer series paper and stickers in mind. For purposes of the video, I did not have the photos at the time when I made this designer series paper and sticker sheet design. So I just temporarily taped the grandchildren in there for you. This one looks great also. So if all you're able to do is get the designer series paper and the sticker sheet, you are good to go. Now let's switch to the card and tag making. These next two are also created from sketches, but each design uses its own sketch. I love showing how sketches work across all kinds of projects. First, we'll take a look at card number 1. This design is based on a sketch with layered elements in the middle. Now, I took a die cut that I just got. Here is a quick look at the die cut. And there are several. I took the oval die cut, I guess that's what you call it, and the rounded edges, a rectangle that has rounded edges, I'm not sure. So I cut it out of a piece of my stash paper left over from Weekend Adventures. Then I fussy cut one of the floral designs from the Transitions of Christmas designer paper. I grabbed one of the circle items that I had in my stash from the ephemera set called Labels and Layers. And wow, all I have left to do is add my sentiment, and this card is ready to go. Now let's get to inking and stamping that greeting. Now, as I'm thinking through this, I realized I'm going to need my stamping platform to make sure that I'm accurate in getting that greeting inside that circle. So I'm starting to put it all together, and you can see that when I use the die on that oblong oval, we'll call it, I had some gaps there. Now I played around a little bit and I decided, I tried Secret C and I thought, I need something to go with that Weekend Adventures oblong rounded insert inside. I don't exactly know what to call it, but I needed something to kind of bring that color back in, so I played around with Secret C, and then I finally landed on Night of Navy, and I just used my Stampin' Spot to do that. I was looking for more of a vintage look. Not sure I accomplished that, but I decided that I wanted to bring in another color and basically do some ink blending around the inside, which is more of an arch, and the outside of that swirled paper that I designed and created. So I grabbed the pecan pie Stampin' Spot, and I wanted to kind of rusty it up and add texture there. So I grabbed it and I went around the edges, and of course I also did it inside the arch. Oh, I forgot to mention that the arch was also a part of that die set, and all this information will be in the description box below. If you are curious to know about the paper, the swirled paper here, I can add that for you in this video, but it's basically shaving cream and ink put together, and I have that in another video and I'll add it for you. I did mention that in my last video, but this is the actual paper. I kind of gave you a little sneak peek. And so now what we're going to do, now that we're making this work and we're inking it up with that pecan pie around that archway, starting to feel more like the card and starting to, in my mind, feel more like a match to the sketch design, or at least it's close. Now we're going to slide over there and put this whole thing together. Super easy. And I honestly, I really struggled with how am I going to put all these different pieces together to make it look right. And I actually like how this turned out. Now I did have to do some maneuvering a little bit with that piece that I had already cut out, that blue piece from Wicked Adventures, but it worked out perfectly because I had that circle that I needed. I have my season's greetings there. I have the Traditions of Christmas flower arrangement that I cut out of the designer papers, and it actually covered it up nicely. Next, I'll grab some bling bling. In this case, it's Pearls of Beauty, and we'll start adding that around. In this case, I put 5. I didn't want to cover up too much of that paper because I'm pretty proud of that paper. I really like it. So I didn't want to cover too much of it up. So I just put some kind of softer colors on there and put a little bit around the greeting, and we are good to go. We can add this to our card base. This is the actual panel, and then we'll secure that glue around the edges and add it to our card base. Now, the last one, the tag that I mentioned earlier, we have the tag, and I will show you how I put it together, but I did not complete this, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes I have to sit on items for a few days. I am an overthinker, but I've decided that I didn't necessarily have to use this tag as a Christmas tag. So what I decided was I would sit on this for a few days and then make a decision as to whether or not I wanted this tag to be an anniversary tag to put on a gift, or if I wanted to use it for Christmas. So I will show you how I put it together, kind of a makeshift, but I left the opportunity with some removable tape to actually take that tan piece, kind of coffee colored pecan pie looking piece, take that piece and put a happy anniversary greeting or season's greeting, or just a smaller version of a 'tis the season, something like that. I didn't have the decision made when I was putting this together, so I didn't want to hold this video up any longer. So this is what it will look like when I finish that tag. I will add it into one of my short videos that I put out occasionally when I don't get them done in the actual process videos. So here's what we had for you today. We had 2 layouts and we had 2 other designs that were part of the challenge from our team, and I think they turned out great. I hope the sketch and my version of the sketches gave you ideas and inspiration, and if so, I would really love it if you would subscribe, like, and comment, and if you would share the video, I would really appreciate it. So a coming soon item, I do have another December sketch challenge that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. I also have an ornament that I'm making that is a shaker ornament, and that will be a gift to the folks that are in my club. And I'll show you that along with the box to put it in. So thank you again for joining me today, and until next time, have a great day.